Business is like a video game. It's crazy how no one ever presents this ideology of business is literally just like playing a video game like GTA, Minecraft. I don't play Minecraft, but I don't know what games you play. Video game characters have a set of attributes. For example, strength, speed, durability, shield. I don't know. You guys know how it goes. As a competent CEO, we have a set of competency that we have to be a successful CEO. Obviously, you have your anomalies and there's different style of managing. However, there are kind of criteria that you need to have to be a really competent CEO. But the truth is, no one is 5-star per se in all of this competency. You can't. It's impossible. You're human after all. So use other people that have better skills than you, a better attribute than you, to propel your business. I know, especially as someone who started several businesses and who has a business right now called Wellington, which is a community business of successful entrepreneurs. I'm so passionate for it because I just believe that people are missing out when you're not in a community of like-minded people, when you're not in a community of people who have done it before. I'm not talking about crypto bros or YouTube groups. I'm talking about real entrepreneurs who have at least 500k ARR. It doesn't make any sense why you wouldn't. It's like a no-brainer for you to be in a community of successful people. The difference between Wellington and any other community is we vet our people. We only want a tight clique of people who are successful in their field, who have good morals, who have good track record. I digress. When you start your business or when you're in the 1 to 5, maybe 1 to 8 million ARR business, you tend to try to do everything. You think you're the best designer, you can be the best CEO, you can be the best marketing, you can be the best at advertising, you can be the best at operations. Bro, sis, I'm sorry to tell you the truth, that's impossible. You can't. Because like a video game, you can't have the highest rates in every single attribute. That's not how life is about. So then, what's the first objective? Break down these competency. What are the 5 main competency that other entrepreneurs have? If you're in my community, you'll be surrounded with great entrepreneurs, so you'll be able to identify them. However, if you're not in my community, read books, look at different podcasts. All these successful entrepreneurs, what are the 5 main competency that they have? The second thing you need to identify is what competency are you lacking in? And how can you use other people to strengthen your business in areas you're lacking? I just think once you start leaning in this type of ideology and this thesis of business being a skill-based video game, you'll be less stressful and you'll hone in your own attributes that you're good at and not trying to be a jack of all trades but a master of none. That's not your aim. You're trying to grow your business. You need to be selfless and humble for you to realize that maybe from 0 to 1 mil or 0 to 500k, I did all myself, I was able to do everything. But now I'm on a scale, I want to get to 10 million, 20 million AR. I can't do it all myself because I'm just not amazing at everything. And that is okay. Once you get to that level of maturity and that level of self-internalization, the sky is the limit. I'm telling you, the sky is the limit. I'm not saying you should not manage all these different attributes. You can. But you don't need to be the spearhead of all these different departments because you're the founder. It's not going to work like that. This is why it's so important to hire. You need to hire successful people, A-star people. In a video game, when you're trying to pass levels, if you're playing a multiplayer game online, you need good players. For example, if you're playing FIFA and you're playing pro clubs online, you can't do this by yourself. You need to have a good winger, a good defense, a good goalkeeper, someone who can play attack. And it's how you do it in unity, which makes you more powerful. Unity brings power, which then flow into the idea of company culture. You need to have a really good company culture, and everyone needs to know your company culture, and everyone needs to believe in your vision. Everyone needs to know that, oh, this is the mission of this business. How am I gonna grow this business in the way I can, which is in line with this mission? Make sure as founders, you're always letting all your employees know about your mission. They need to all know your mission, all of them. They need to know the company culture. They need to all be abide by it. This is why I always do with my community ranting. You're not getting into this community. You've done a live with my mission. I don't know. I don't care how much you have. I don't care what you do. I don't care who you are. If you're not in line with my mission of Wellington, you can't join my community. This is why you have to apply via the link in the description. And then once I get to Sensia and I interview you, if you're not aligned with Wellington's morals, you're not getting let in. But this is what you should do as well for your own business. It's a community of great people. It's a community of product managers, software engineers, marketers, people who can spearhead your company. Bringing it back to video game theology, when you reach new levels and unlock new skills, the skill you needed for level 1 may not be the same skill you need for level 2. Or the skill you needed for level 1, you may need a greater height of that skill for level 2. So let's bring it back into business, into real life. As you make more money, as your company grows, your skill set needs to change. Or you need to sharpen your sword at different level of battle. So try your best to identify what level am I in right now in business. Okay. What level is needed in this level of business? What skill set do I need to sharpen or get other people who have a high base or a higher level at the skill set in this level? And then once you get to the next level, what skill set do I need in this level? It's not the same. You have to be involving. You know, you have that character that gets like the highest tier. They're always evolving, always involving. Especially if you're playing like a one-person game, the character ends up becoming from a skinny young boy to a hench big man because he's been evolving over time. And now when he fights the final boss, he has all the skill set. Your final boss may be doing 100 mil AR and now you have a massive hurdle that you have to get over. Because of your progression through different level of business, you're able to scale. It's so important to identify skills that you need for each level of business and seeing what skills that you need to sharpen and what skills that you need to outsource. Please do not. I'm only speaking about this because this is a great topic of interest within Wellington. What skill set do I need at different level of business? And what skill set is always best to outsource straight away or outsource a little bit later? On some level of multiplayer, some level you actually need another person. You can't do it by yourself. Some levels, okay, you can do it by yourself, but other levels you need other people around you. You need a community. You need like-minded people surrounding you, advising you, helping you. You need people that you can have mental sparring session with before you get to the battlefield. Because if you try this mental process during the battlefield, you will regret it. And it may drop you down a level. So if you have people in a community as like a mental gymnasium, you can try all these different skills, all these different uppercut, left hook combinations. And then when you get to the battlefield, it will work. Because you've tried it, you know it works. Or you've had advice from other people who's literally been that exact same level and succeeded. So remember that. You need people in certain levels. You can't do this all yourself. You just can't. You can't do this all by yourself. Unfortunately or fortunately, it's not always a solo player game. Maybe all your managers need to go through a crash course with you. Maybe it's cognitive reasoning. Maybe emotional sympathy. Maybe it's team building. But you need to outline different competency criteria for all the high managers within your business and see how you can help them strengthen it. Because that's the joy of being a leader, of being a founder, is that you can truly watch people build in character and resilience in their work life, in their financial life. You there as a leader is not meant to just take all the money and take all the glory and all the fame. It's about seeing people within your company grow outside the work and within work. So you need to take it upon yourself to see the progress of your own employees. You need to see them, or maybe even help them sharpen your sword so when you get into battle, they can fight for you and you know they're not going to be the person that makes you lose this level. So always invest in your employees all the time. At the end of the day, these are the people who are helping you make money. They're not just cash cows. Invest into them, not only monetary, but by making them better people, making them better what their job is, making them more competent. Please. I don't like founders that takes all the glory but never invest in their own employees. How do you do that? Or they have the bare minimum for their own employees, but they're doing 20k retreat, but they can't even like offer some paid personal development for elder managers at least. At least. I think you should do to every single person in your company, no matter who they are. If it's a cleaner, if it's a janitor, whoever it is, invest into them in a way that they can gain more knowledge and they can use that if they leave or within the business and their personal life. I do believe you may be born with certain skill sets, with certain competency. However, you can strengthen them. So if you believe me, obviously apply it to your business. You can disagree if you have facts that it doesn't work. So try it with your employees. Try investing into them. Try helping them sharpen the sword. And remember, no one ever starts a game at level 100. You always start at level 0. So never ever compare yourself in level 1 compared to someone who's level 100. No, you can use that as these are some of the trials and tribulations I may encounter during my time when I'm in that level, or this is a certain competency that this person has achieved, this ought to be. But you need to take action, you need to realize it's a work in progress, there's a compound interest in terms of skills. You're never ever going to start levels 100, neither can you skip levels from level 1 to level 20. You can't do that, you have to go through every single level. You have to, because there's certain lessons you have to learn, certain skills that you have to sharpen, certain trials and tribulations you have to go through for your character to become more endurance, to become more resilience, more stronger. That's just how businesses and that's just how games are. That's how they're developed. That's how they're created to be. Guess what about games? No matter how many times you fail, the only thing that matters is you get into the next level. So you keep failing, who cares? No one cares. Like, if you're in level 100, no one's going to be like, how many times did you fail at level 50? They don't care. As long as that you can say you're at level 100. So keep going. You're going to fail so many times. That's how game is. That's how business is. But the most important thing is you're progressing. You're advancing in levels. Not at the pace you're doing it. Just make sure you're advancing the levels. One level may take 2 years, another level may take 6 months, another level may take 1 month. It is okay, just make sure you're advancing through levels. Another thing about game theory is sometimes you have to go through a certain side quest to unlock an XP that will boost your character. So sometimes you have to go through a side quest within your business that does not look like it's changed the trajectory of your business or it is in the right path of your business. However, going through this phase or going through these different cycles will give you the XP you need to level up your character, level up your personal skills to then advance to the next level. Or these are the skills that you may be able to use in a later level. So every experience you're taking is never for waste. You can always utilize it. At the end of the day, your level bar or your XP bar will always increase. And it's always beneficial. It's always beneficial. But in terms of business, there's infinite levels. So therefore, my previous videos always talk about self-love. You cannot, it's so funny because it's so important, you cannot link your identity with your XP level, your identity with what level you're on. No, your identity is who you are. You had this identity before you were level 100. When you started the game, you had an identity. In conclusion, try to gamify business. Identify the competency metrics you need for each level. Identify if you need other people for this level. Identify what level you're at and identify what you need to get to the next level and what skills you need to sharpen and what skills you need to outsource. YouTube is extremely good at suggesting videos for you. So any videos that's just here, I recommend you to pick.